Juggalos and Juggalettes, big homie Big Ian coming at you live and direct with the newest Faygoluvers interview. Today I'm sitting down with Cognito from the Bay. Cognito, how's it going, man?
What's up, Ian? What's happening?
Nothing much, man. Cog, I got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about today, so I don't want to waste any time. First and foremost, before we move on to any of the current stuff, I know one of the biggest things that fans are curious about is what happened between you and Strange Music. I know it's been a while since you left the label, but we haven't heard a lot about you on this subject. Heard a lot of you on this subject yet.
It's just an example of, it's not always about, music and, it's not always just about who's dope, who's not, who's, collaborating when it comes to music. Because, it was nothing but just wonderful stuff with Tech, Chris, all the other artists, of course, Lynch, that I'm, still, he's like my brother today. And, that's basically what it is. It's just when it comes down to, big business type stuff, there's difficulty sometimes. And, long story short, it basically, there's it could have been personalities or business mind as far as, how I work compared to how they work. It could be, I can't give a full straight answer, not to just BS nobody. It's just, it was, especially the communication was rough with me being all the way out in California. I'm not using that as an excuse, and I'm not saying it was fully them. It could have been just the type of artist I am. I'm pretty easy to work with, but it just, the demands I have are not huge. They're just specific with certain stuff, but the demands they have, aren't necessarily huge. And there's just some stuff that I felt wasn't all the way right. And if you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel comfortable. It's like anything else. It's like a relationship, And then you're in a relationship with a person, it's pretty much the same thing. If you don't feel comfortable with it, that the right thing to do is to try to talk it out or say, look, these are issues I'm having. And if either side just says, it's not working like that, then it's just, complications come up and, issues come up. And that's basically what had happened on a harsh level. And it was kind of just like, I guess both sides were just kind of ready to call it, quits. And I'm gonna think logically as well. It's not like I'm some huge platinum artist to where it's like if there's issues, it's going to be different from executives at Strange that they had complications or miscommunications with Tech. Tech is the breadwinner over there, so it's going to be a little bit different. With me having one album, not being out there all the time, being in California, and certain situations or issues arise, it's going to be easier to say, all right, if this ain't working, we'll just call it a day. And that's pretty much, how it happened. And like I said, I wasn't disgruntled about it just because a lot of the issues were issues I had, And I'm not a big fame type of person, I love music and I do music because it satisfies me. It's a satisfaction for me. And, that's basically what it was. It's like, all right, if it's not going to work, we'll move on. I'm not just going to stay with somebody just because, their name's pop more than anything. And that basically make me a hoe. I'm not going to be like some, say some female that's just trying to get with Hugh Hefner, because Hugh Hefner's cracking and popping and on some huge level, if it's not me, I'm not just going to just try to do it. So, I tried to work it out, and like I said, that had nothing to do with any of the artist stuff. Me beefing with any artist had nothing to do with that. And I know a couple of them songs, like the Overhated, the 5-Minute Virus track that came out, how certain words I said in there, I wasn't trying to hide anything. People, misconstrued it and said stuff like I was dissing Tech and all this different stuff. And, there was nothing hidden. There was nothing about that. It was nothing about it. Did one album with them, and it went great. I love the album. It's probably my favorite album to date, just because of, just how we did it. And me admiring Tech as an artist and being able to collaborate and work with him on another level was definitely something one in a million for any artist, and I don't take that for granted. But at the same time, it just wasn't something that we were going to force ourselves on each side to, force to try to make the relationship work. If it just, we're butting heads a little too much. So, it's over. It's done with. It's a chapter in my Cognito book and my music career, and there's good parts of the chapter, there's bad parts of the chapter, and we'll move forward from there. But it's no love lost with any of the the artists, especially Tech. I still am one of his number one fans today as an artist to artist. I think he's a genius when it comes to that, and I'm one of his biggest fans. To this date, I will still root for him to, keep escalating in the game and hope for him to get to that next level like I know he can do, you know what I mean?
Okay, all right. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask, I know your new album, Spoiled Milk, has just come out, and this has been an album that we've been hearing about for a couple years now. I know the first music video came out back in 2011,
right.
and so it had been quite a while since your Automatic release. I know there had been a couple, missed release dates along the way. What can you tell us about why it took so long to get Spoiled Milk out and just, the whole process between Automatic and Spoiled Milk?
Well, initially we set a date, and we're trying to have it, not rush it out, but just try to keep the process going of dropping an album a year. But I just left Strange, excuse me, and it was something where it initially started as a mixtape that I honestly started talking about the music anyway, not the title of the album, but it started talking about it while I still was under contract with Strange, and I still was talking about doing another record and this and that. So it was something I was going to do just as a mixtape or have it be the next record. And then so we set initial release date. We're going to drop the mixtape. We weren't going to drop it in stores. We were probably going to have some in stores, have it be on iTunes, maybe some mixtape, where we're beat jacking and use some major beats and some other artist beats, and really just try to have it be a mixtape. But then a lot of business stuff had crashed down around us with the Strange stuff to where basically we initially, postponed it. And then after that, just trying to get the business aspect together as an independent artist to have stuff come out is not easy, no matter what people think. You can just say you released an album, but someone like myself that's had a lot of more major releases under major labels or major distribution, I'm not just going to put an album out, so to speak. Anybody can put something up on iTunes. I mean, that's simple. But having it come out, having fans know about it, be aware of it, having the quality be right, having the production be right. I'm OCD when it comes to my music, and the production's got to be right. It's got to sound right. It's got to be hidden. My writing has to be right, or I'm not going to put it out. So, one of the first two reasons we missed the release date is because we were going to put it out, and then something came about. We had labels hollering at me. Strange thing just happened, so I still kind of had a buzz because of the Strange stuff. So then we were going to try to we don't want to go past a year. But then after that passed, I was like, well, let's try to get the right situation. So I joined it back with, D-Buck and Mike Mosley. We were going to put it under Steady Mobbin'. They had a lot of stuff going on, so we didn't want to rush it because they just got a new deal with other projects they're supposed to drop. So then we missed a little second release date. That's when we dropped the music video saying we were going to drop it under Steady Mobbin' and Hoopla and all this different stuff. And then after we missed that date, it's because I just got done doing a tour with a little Alaska tour with Bone Thugs. And after I was out there, I had one of the reps from SMC, which is a independent label that was based out of San Francisco, and they had a distribution through Fontana, which I just got done dropping an album on Fontana through Strange. So basically, they knew my stuff. I figured it'd be a good way to do it. It let me establish my label with Anarchy, and not just sign as Cognito, but sign Anarchy, and have Anarchy actually signed like a Strange or like a, an Aftermath or however you want to say it. So me actually get my label signed where I could maybe put other artists out or put other projects out that aren't necessarily just Cognito projects. And then a lot of business stuff was crazy for them at the time. They were in the midst of selling it. They were in the midst of transformation to change it to Blast Music. And they changed location headquarters, their corporate headquarters, to Los Angeles instead of San Francisco. So once that happened, we literally got put on hold for a while. We had already done a deal with them on a contract, so it wasn't my part to rush them. I actually had to wait and postpone it a little bit. So I started working on other music, tried to tour a little bit, worked on a lot of movie stuff, worked on some sports stuff for some of the sports teams out here in the Bay, worked on some video game stuff, comic book stuff, and just try to stay busy in the meantime while getting the business right. But a lot of people just don't realize, man, of what it takes to put out an album after you already are somewhat of an established artist. You know what I mean? If I'm already established, I got to make sure that I'm catering to every fan. I can't just put something out and have no one know about it, no one know what's going on, and waste thousands of dollars we put into production to just throw it out there without people knowing about it. So basically, the Blast situation took a little bit over a year and a half to get set. Once we got set with them, it's about establishing everything, not just as an artist. All the stuff I was doing when I was with Master P or when I was with Strange, I had to do 10 times, 100 times more as an artist / CEO of Anarchy. So basically, I'm not just being an artist like I was with Strange, which was nice, of just going down to Kansas City, going to Missouri, and recording, just recording music, and then have that be that, and just get set up for the tour, just play the artist role. I'm now having to put together everything from artwork, shoots, video shoots, choreographing the videos I need to do, just basically everything that needs to be done that I was getting help with at Strange or through Steady Mobbin or through Master P, now I'm having to do it on my own. So, I mean, you can see unless you got a limitless budget of money, it's going to take some time to put everything together the right way. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what it has taken this long. And we're still not all the way there. It's still slowly putting the marketing and promotion. We're just touching bases with Street Teamers now, even though the album's been out for a week, about sending this stuff so that they can start the street promotion. And we're fine with that, though. I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it being like that instead of having 3 months of promotion ahead of time and then have the album come out. I'm fine with that. We build an anarchy. We've had nothing but support, especially love and patience from the fans. So now after this album, it's been a lot of learning experience stuff and technique to where after this one, we're slowly picking the stuff that works and doesn't work while running anarchy to where all the future releases now from merchandise, touring, music, everything we're doing, we're basically learning the process. And I feel confident about the situation with Blast Music. They got some great executives over there. They got some great people supporting us that basically are learning the do's and don'ts as well of me as an artist and Anarchy as a label, to where we're basically taking what works and what doesn't work, and we're going to be just slowly applying them to every future release after this to make it a lot easier. So this one's definitely a learning curve, and we just got to we got to deal with the punches that are thrown at us, you know what I'm saying, and take it with a grain of salt and move forward, which we are. So I'm not stressed out. I'm not, I'm not down by any means. I'm happy with it. The album came out great. We're getting great reviews on Spoiled Milk, and now it's time to build Anarchy as a label and take all them soldiers behind us that want to be a part of it and move forward. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, now let's tell me a little bit about the Spoiled Milk as an album specifically. Like, I know that this has been something that you had been recorded a while ago, and so what are some of the collabs that went into this album? What was sort of your headspace as you were recording this album? Like, tell us a little bit about everything that came together to make Spoiled Milk what it is.
Well, there was some frustration, of course, because I'd taken so much time getting into the Strange situation as an artist, and my mindset of saying, of course anyone's going to be like, oh, you're just going to sign with Strange Music no matter what. But, Violet Brown was doing my shopping as an artist, and when me and Violet met with Strange, of course, I love Strange. I love what I knew of Strange and Tech and all them. So, you basically put most of your eggs in one basket when you're going with a label like Strange. So, yeah, I'm not going to lie and act like it was just a clean cut from Strange, because there was a lot of frustrating aspects of it. You put a lot of trust and emotions into signing with that label, any label like that. And so when it did break off, you don't want to say you wasted a couple of years of your life, but you're trying to establish yourself as well while they're trying to establish themselves. So, yeah, I was pissed on some aspects that I felt like there was some stuff that was avoidable with them that I felt they were kind of like, well, just screw it. You know what I'm saying? This isn't Tech. This isn't one of our bigger established artists. It's a newer artist. So, if we're going to have issues right now, screw it. We'll just go ahead and move on. So, yeah, you do get pissed about that. So, Spoiled Milk does have some aggression on it. No shots or nothing like that. I'm not coming out blowing or taking shots at nobody. But you can tell my aggression as an artist, or some of my frustration as an artist, of just expressing, yeah, this is the music game, and this is the cards I'm dealt. And it sucks from time to time, but that's what it is. So, basically, there's some aggression on it. There's some happy stuff. There's some depression stuff. There's basically just your regular Cognito stuff on there. But I'm also able to do me a little bit. I don't want to say I'm influenced with different labels I've been signed with, but in a sense you are. You get in with their producers, with their artists, their other artists, their mindset. You're not influenced. You don't just start doing what they doing, but you do have a little bit of a feel to it. Snoop Dogg, was done with, the whole Aftermath or Death Row after them first album or two. You could heavily tell what he was influenced by when he went with Master P. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear nothing but, No Limit type tracks. That wasn't the case with me, but at the same time, it had, you could tell the Strange feel it had. So, Spoiled Milk, everything I'm working on now, it's the first time I've been running my own label and just going in the studio and working with my people, just the way that just what comes out with me is real now. I mean, it's what I am as an artist. You might hear a little bit more rock stuff. You might hear a little bit more live band stuff I might not have had access to the last couple albums just because I'm working with what I'm working with, and I'm able to do a little bit more with what I want to do. So Spoiled Milk, I don't want to say is better than any album. I'm not saying that. I mean, every album has its own unique feel to it and purpose, and Spoiled Milk basically has a lot of me on it. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot of ups and downs on it, and basically it was just me getting out what was going on at that time in my life, as not just a musician, but as an artist, as a label owner. You know what I'm saying? As a father. You know what I'm saying? Basically just everything like that. So I'm excited about it from here on out. Some of the music, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be coming out, because it's basically just, it's me. And I finally found that niche to where this is the kind of artist I am. You're either going to love me or hate me. You like me, not like me, but you basically are going to be getting who I am now as an artist. So I think Spoiled Milk is kind of the definition or the beginning of me as an artist, of what I'm going to be delivering as just el natural, just my natural delivery, my natural me. So I think Spoiled Milk's kind of the beginning of that. And, you know, not a lot of collabs. I went back and touched back with some of the people I messed with. I recorded with Master P back a few years back. Of course, collab with Brother Lynch, Joey Rock, Mean Doe Green, who hopefully is going to be a little bit more affiliated with Anarchy than other artists would be. You know, I'm really trying to work with him on some other stuff, because I think he's one of the most underrated artists, period, not just in California, but just around. I think he's paid his dues, and it's his time to get some shine, too. Hobson, definitely, which that was one of the first tracks I recorded for Spoiled Milk, was the Anarchy Nation track with Hobson. It's right when I was at the end part of a strange situation, when I didn't know if it was going to be a mixtape or a record. And so we collabed on that. Like, that was one of the first joints we did with it. And then, you know, cats, of course, that are like in my family, the Be Legits and the Low Key production, Swamp Cat, Demolished Beats, of course, Nate Beats, of course. I did one of the hit tracks on there that's got my daughter on it, called My Chuck. Nate Beats, the same producer that produced Born to Be Fly, and you know, did the hook and stuff like that for Pill Pop and music. So it's basically just me, production team, and basically just the beginning of gonna get from here on out, basically, from not just me but Anarchy as a whole.
Okay, all right. Do you have anything else planned for Spoiled Milk in the way of like new music videos or anything moving forward?
Yeah, we're looking at doing. Both of my people that do our video stuff are both out of town, overseas. So as soon as they get back, we're going to try to finish up the My Chuck's video shoot, which we actually started a year ago. We just haven't been able to put it all the way together the way we wanted to, because everyone's been so busy just trying to get the record right. And then we're thinking about doing one for Overhated, which we have some pretty good ideas for, and that's the reason we picked those tracks, because of the ideas and the framework that we could see for those type of videos, to make them interesting videos, to get points out and stuff like that. And then we think about doing another one, but it's a mixture of a couple different joints that we're trying to narrow it down on which ones we're going to do. But right now we're looking at Overhated and finishing up My Chucks, which we both have storyboards written out for, locations, and we kind of have everything ready for it. So we're going to be doing those two with it, and then we're trying to line up the summer and like the spring to the fall type tour schedule for that right now, which we're trying to do a mix of some of the Comic-Cons, since we really are joined up with Joshua Ortega from Gears of War, and it does the Other Dead right now, which is just like popping, one of the top comic books in the world right now. It's just utterly taken off. We're going to be joined with them on some stuff, not just the Comic-Cons, but we're going to be hitting the Comic-Cons to collaborate with them, do some signings, do some autograph signings, and some merchandise stuff to get out to the fans. And then, of course, you know, hit the gathering towards the end of the year as well, which will still probably be pushing Spoiled Milk if we haven't bounced on, you know, to the next project, of course, that is pretty much about halfway done right now. So, yeah, we're definitely just beginning the run of what we're going to be doing with and for Spoiled Milk.
Okay, and now you've mentioned several times just about some of the big stuff you've got planned moving forward and new releases coming up not long after Spoiled Milk. Like, do you have anything... do you have any specific plans for, you know, the future for the rest of this year that you can share with us?
I'm finishing Crow, and Crow is an EP. It's going to be straight to the point. I mean, there's not too much I can say about it yet. A lot of live band work. This is something we've been working on, though, for the last year and a half, 2 years, though, talking about doing Crow. And, you know, down the road we'll get into a little bit more of the meaning of Crow and the logic behind Crow. But one of my dear friends, the producer Swamp Cat, is battling and not doing good with his health right now. fighting cancer. And, it's kind of an emotional subject I'm not going to get into right now, but he has good days and he has very, very bad days. And so on the good days, we've been trying to take advantage of the production we can do with him, from the live drums to, the live guitar, live bass, and we're really putting together some real special tracks that are going to be meant just for this Crow record. I don't want to say it's dark, but it might have a little bit of a dark side, of how we're going to deliver it. But it also has some sunny sides to it as well, though. So, I'm not trying to come out and be somebody I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be fully me, but it does have a little bit of that feel that everyone, those cloudy day type feels to it that I think are not necessarily shock people, but it's definitely going to open some eyes, and I think it's going to really, really hit people in a different way, than we maybe hit them with, automatic recognition or spoiled milk or anything along that line. So I'm really looking forward to that. Only no one's really heard any of the tracks from it. We actually did one of the tracks that we recorded for it because it was mixed and done up. We actually recorded it a couple of weeks before the gathering, and I actually opened up my set at the gathering last year, 2013, with one of the tracks. It's like a real representing the West Coast. That's how we do it in Cali. And, we opened up my set for the gathering with it. We were like, to hell with it. We're going to just open up, see how the track goes. And it actually just got the set popping on another level. So I was actually happy to see people get into it like that. I think it's going to be one of our trademark songs after it comes off on this EP. There's not going to be any more than 7 songs on this EP, and it's going to be straight to the point. Each song, we have about 12 or 13 songs getting recorded for it, and that was the whole point, was to have my team just have a ridiculous hard time narrowing down those 6 or 7 songs, and that was kind of the point to where we're all pissed at the end, like, well, we think this song should be on it. I'm saying I think this song should be on it. Someone else is like, man, I can't believe you're leaving this song off it. That's like the point to this EP, to where it literally just, it's so hard to put together the tracks we want to use for it because we go over the top with all of the tracks. Not a lot of features. Might be a couple key features here and there that I don't want to mention yet because some of them aren't done yet. But, I'm not a huge feature person anyway, just kind of the right features. And I'm excited about it. I want to stick to Spoiled Milk now, but at the same time, since we are working on it, we're letting people know. And we're going to do some Ustreams or some Tiny Chats. If we can get the Tiny Chat lined up that messed up a couple nights ago, we're going to do something from the studio with the bands, and we're working on some of the joints. So we're going to try to get some insight and some behind the scenes to, some of the music for Crow when we're in the studio recording at DJ Pauses out here in San Francisco, California, and we'll give people a little behind the scenes of the Crow EP so they can kind of get excited about it. But they definitely are going to be excited about it because it's on another level. The tracks are they're on another level. I mean, it's me, but it seems like it might not be me because it's just something we haven't done before, but it's just another side of me that I've never explored before. Now that I'm exploring it, I like that other side. So
awesome. All right, Cog. Well, I think that's all the questions I got for you right now. Is there anything else you'd like to say to all your fans listening to this?
I just want to tell them all I appreciate them sticking with me. I totally know that there's a lot of other people out there driving music and this and that, and I'm sure a lot of them have tried to not be impatient with it, but it's not because we're slacking, and it's more just to make sure we come out on the right, on the right key with everything we're trying to launch for Anarchy. I can promise that we're going to make it worth everybody's wait, but I know people get frustrated with it, and sometimes people don't understand why. They think, well, you got an album done, just drop it. It just doesn't work like that. If you've ever been involved in the business, you know that it doesn't work like that. But for those that haven't been in the business, that's what it is. It's a difficult situation. It's not about money. It's not about anything else except trying to do it the right way and make sure all your chips are lined up. But any problems we had releasing Spoiled Milk and delaying dates and all that, I can promise it ain't going to happen again with any other project. And if you haven't got your Spoiled Milk pre-order, you will be getting it because the back orders of us selling out the first batch, we got the next ones coming. And it's just been a long process getting to here. But I appreciate everybody's support. And then when I hit a town near you, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways this year just to make sure we make it worth everybody's wait. And, I'm excited about it, man. We got some new movies coming out that have a lot of music, some big TV shows that's got a lot of Anarchy music in it. the comic book, They're Dead. I'm giving shots out to them and Joshua Ortega for the time they've taken to work with us, and the video game that they're working on for that. We're going to be doing the music exclusively for that. And, yeah, a lot of good stuff, man. And if some of these scripts go through the way that I want to, man, you might be able to see me pop up in a couple of small indie roles on some flicks here and there. So that's basically what we're working on, to try to, you know what I'm saying, try to get my white ass out there as much as possible. So hopefully you'll see more of me this year.
Awesome. Cog, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview, man.
Oh, man, anytime for Faygoluvers, bro. You guys got nothing but love from me. I appreciate it, brother. Shouts out to Scotty, everybody out there, man. I got nothing but love for y'all.
Awesome. Juggalos and Juggalettes, this has been Cognito and Big Ian. We're out.
Yeah.
Stop rapping before I speak on shit. Half-ass backwards, attack with half-ass adverbs. Pack what you slacking, you see what happens when you flip the script like some half-ass acrobat actor. Then after the laughter, you back to a bastard with a soul black as a casket. You asking, there ain't no accidents. Facts are the facts, so if you act a bitch, go find an ass to kiss. Let's see how fast he splits with a mouthful of laughter.